In this video, we're going to talk about AWS Key Management Service, or KMS. KMS is a managed service that makes it easy for you to create and control the encryption keys used to encrypt your data. KMS is integrated with most other AWS services that encrypt your data with encryption keys that you manage. KMS is also integrated with AWS CloudTrail to provide encryption key usage logs to help meet your auditing, regulatory, and compliance needs. You can perform several management actions on your KMS master keys, including creating, describing, and listing master keys, enabling and disabling master keys, and creating and viewing grants and access control policies for your master keys. With KMS, you can also perform cryptographic functions using master keys, including encryption, decryption, and re-encryption of data, and generating data encryption keys that you can export from the service in plain text or encrypted under a master key that doesn't leave the service. By using KMS, you gain more control over access to data you encrypt. You can use the key management and cryptographic features directly in your applications or through AWS services that are integrated with KMS. Whether you are writing applications for AWS or using AWS services, KMS enables you to maintain control over who can use your master keys and gain access to your encrypted data. And now we're going to show you exactly how KMS keys work by creating a new one and using it to encrypt and protect an S3 bucket. So right now, I'm in my IAM dashboard, which I can get to by clicking on Services, and then finding IAM. On the IAM dashboard, I'm going to click on Encryption Keys on the left side of the page, and then Create Key. For the alias, I'll give it example key, and description, example. And just so you know, you do have the option to import an external key if you'd like, but we're going to leave it on KMS. And we'll hit Next Step. And of course, just like most resources, you can add metadata in the form of tags if you'd like to track your billing or anything else. We're going to leave this blank for now. And we'll go to Next Step. On this page, we get to choose the IAM users and roles that can administer this key through the KMS API. And you'll notice it does include both IAM users and all kinds of roles. I'm looking at several service roles here, for example. For now, let's choose the test user that we created in a previous video, and move on. For the next step, it wants us to choose the users and roles that can use the key to encrypt and decrypt data from within applications. Once again, let's choose Matt for the example user, and click Next Step. And on the final summary page, before we hit Finish, it's going to give us a preview of the key policy. And there are a few things to know. The first is that the policy will allow all KMS actions to all resources to the root user on the account. But next to know, if you scroll down, is you'll see the two options we chose described in policy form. So we said that Matt should be allowed to administer the key, and that's what's happening here. The AWS user Matt has been given permissions for KMS on all resources. And then similarly, the user Matt has been given permission to encrypt and decrypt data using the KMS key. With that being said, let's go ahead and finish to create this key. And now that we have our key, let's go create a test S3 bucket that we can protect with the key. So we'll hit Create Bucket. And we'll give it a unique bucket name, Matt's KMS example, and I'll select the default region of North Virginia, which is absolutely fine for now. And we'll hit Next. On this page, we're going to leave everything by default except the default encryption. So I'm going to enable default encryption, and then I'm going to choose the KMS option. And you'll see it gives me a drop-down with the keys that I'm able to choose. So I'll choose example key, and then click through most of this to create the bucket. And now that we have our bucket, let's click the bucket and then go to Properties to see what our encryption looks like. And there it is. You'll notice that encryption is enabled through AWS Key Management Service. And if we click on it, we can see the key that we're using to encrypt that data. And that wraps it up for a quick overview of Amazon Key Management Service. If all of that makes sense, then feel free to move on.